Albert Einstein was born in Ulm, Germany, in 1879 to a family of secular Jews. He did not speak until he was 3, and his parents feared he might be slow. At school in Munich, he clashed with teachers who demanded rote memorization and unquestioning obedience. He later said that the spirit of learning and creative thought were lost in strict drilling. At 15, he dropped out, renounced his German citizenship to avoid military conscription, and wandered to Italy where his family had relocated their failing electrical business. Einstein eventually enrolled at the Swiss Federal Polytechnic in Zurich, where he was a mediocre student who skipped lectures and annoyed his professors. After graduation, no university would hire him. He took a job as a patent clerk in Bern, a third-class technical expert reviewing applications for electromagnetic devices. His colleagues saw a quiet young man at a desk covered in papers. They had no idea they were watching a mind that was about to tear apart the fabric of reality. In 1905, his miracle year, Einstein published 4 papers that each would have been enough to make a career. The first explained the photoelectric effect by proposing that light comes in discrete packets called quanta, work that would later earn him the Nobel Prize. The second proved the existence of atoms by explaining the erratic motion of particles suspended in liquid. The third introduced special relativity, which showed that space and time are not fixed and absolute but warp and stretch depending on how fast you are moving. The fourth produced the most famous equation in history, E equals mc squared, revealing that mass and energy are the same thing. Special relativity was born from a question Einstein had asked himself as a teenager. What would it look like to ride alongside a beam of light? The answer he eventually reached was profound and disturbing. The speed of light is constant for all observers, no matter how fast they are moving. This single principle meant that time slows down for objects moving at high speeds, lengths contract, and simultaneity itself is an illusion. 2 events that happen at the same time for one observer can happen at different times for another. Newton's universe of absolute space and absolute time, which had reigned for 2 centuries, was overthrown. But Einstein was not finished. For the next 10 years, he wrestled with a far more ambitious problem: how to extend relativity to include gravity. The breakthrough came in 1907, when he imagined a man falling from a roof. During the fall, the man would feel weightless, as if gravity had vanished. Einstein called this the happiest thought of his life. It led him to the stunning realization that gravity is not a force pulling objects together, but a curvature of space and time caused by mass. A planet orbits a star not because an invisible rope pulls it, but because the star bends the fabric of spacetime and the planet follows the curve. Einstein published his general theory of relativity in 1915, and it was confirmed spectacularly during a solar eclipse in 1919 when Arthur Eddington measured starlight bending around the sun exactly as Einstein had predicted. Overnight, Einstein became the most famous scientist on Earth. Newspapers declared that Newton had been dethroned. But general relativity was more than an academic triumph. It predicted black holes, the expansion of the universe, gravitational waves, and the warping of time near massive objects, predictions that would be confirmed one by one over the next century. Einstein fled Nazi Germany in 1933 and spent the rest of his life at the Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton, New Jersey. He spent decades searching for a unified field theory that would merge gravity with electromagnetism, a quest that eluded him. He died in 1955 at the age of 76. His brain was removed during autopsy without his family's consent and studied for decades without yielding any clear secrets. The genius was not in the tissue, but in the audacity of a man who dared to ask what happens when you ride a beam of light, and then had the courage to follow the answer wherever it led.